Minasan, konnichiwa. Are you ready to sound more like a native speaker by learning about gerunds and infinitives? My name is Jen, and today I'm going to introduce you to the world of gerunds and infinitives so that you can start expressing yourself more like a native speaker. First, I'd like you to take a look at these 3 sentences. I like video games. I like to play video games. And I like playing video games. Guess what? All 3 of these sentences have the exact same meaning. As you know, in English, when you make a sentence, you need to use subject, verb, object. These sentences are all using subject, verb, object. In the first sentence, I like video games. The object is just video games. In the second sentence, I like to play video games. Here, your object of your sentence is actually something called an infinitive. Okay? So the infinitive is, after the main verb in your sentence, you're going to use the preposition to, and then you're going to add a base verb. Okay? Remember, the base verb, don't touch the verb, don't change it. Okay? So I like to play video games. Okay? To play video games is the object of our second sentence. It is an infinitive. And the third sentence, I like playing video games. The object of our sentence here, playing video games, playing is an example of a gerund. Gerunds are created by taking your verb and adding ing. So it's like the base verb plus ing, the ing form of the verb. So let's take a look at some example sentences using both infinitives and gerunds as the object of the sentences. So as many people know, I absolutely love to eat. I love eating. So I love to eat, to plus base verb, right? To eat, and I love eating, verb plus ing, the infinitive and the gerund. I like to skate. I like to skate is simple present using the infinitive. So if you want to make the gerund of I like to skate, what should you do? That's right. I like skating. Remember, when you write this word, skating, I like skating, don't forget to take away the E before you add ing when you are writing. So I like to skate and I like skating. I should try studying more. This is the gerund. So try is the main verb, studying more. So studying more, this is where the gerund is. If I want to write the same sentence using the infinitive, what should I do? That's right. I should try to study more. So I should try studying more and I should try to study more have the same meaning. One using the gerund, one using the infinitive. The next one is I can't stand listening to rap music. I can't stand listening to rap music. This is the gerund. If I want to make the infinitive with the same meaning, I can't stand to listen to rap music. Okay? I can't stand listening to rap music. I can't stand to listen to rap music. I need to start to exercise. This is using the infinitive. What should you do if you want to make a gerund with the same meaning? That's right. I need to start exercising. I need to start to exercise and I need to start exercising. So this time the gerund is it continues snowing. It continues snowing. This is the gerund. If you want to make an infinitive with the same meaning, that's right. It continues to snow. It continues to snow. It continues snowing. I live in Canada. Why? So those are all positive sentences. Really quickly, if you want to make a negative sentence, all you have to do is put not in front of the main verb, just like you would when you're making a regular negative sentence. So for example, you shouldn't start to procrastinate. You shouldn't, you should not start to procrastinate. And the gerund of that would be, you shouldn't start procrastinating. You should not start procrastinating. He hasn't begun to brush his teeth. He hasn't begun brushing his teeth. I don't like running. I don't like to run. So as you can see in those sentences, you're just making them negative by putting not in the regular spot where you would put not. So whether the sentence is negative or positive doesn't change the way you're actually making the gerund or the infinitive at the end of the sentence. So far we were taking a look at sentences where the gerund and the infinitive after the main verb would both have the same meaning. Now, there are a couple verbs in English that, after the main verb, if you use a gerund or an infinitive, the meaning will be different with the gerund or the infinitive. Okay? There's only a few verbs like this, so don't get too worried. One of these verbs is stop. Okay? I stopped drinking coffee and I stopped to drink coffee. Both have different meanings. So after the main verb stop, if you use the gerund or the infinitive, you have two different meanings. Let's take a look. I stopped to drink coffee means that maybe you are busy doing something. I'm so busy playing my Nintendo, Super Nintendo, jump Mario, jump. And then I stop to drink coffee. Pause. And, some coffee. I stopped what I was doing in order to drink coffee. I stopped to drink coffee. But if I use the gerund, I stopped drinking coffee, it means that I have quit drinking coffee. I have given up drinking coffee. I no longer drink coffee at all. No coffee. I stopped drinking coffee because caffeine is not good for my stomach. Okay? So I stopped to drink coffee and I stopped drinking coffee have different meanings. There are some really good textbooks which can help you with things such as knowing which verbs will change their meaning whether you use the gerund or the infinitive. And also the next point that I'm going to mention to you is that after some base verbs, you can only use a gerund, and after some base verbs, you can only use an infinitive. That's the next point we're going to talk about. But I want to let you know that even though this seems confusing, if you get a really good textbook, a good grammar textbook like Focus on Grammar, for example, at the back of the textbook, there is this thing here called an appendix, okay? And here is a very useful chart. It tells you which verbs will only use gerunds, which verbs will only use infinitives, which verbs can use both with different meanings, and which verbs need an object plus a gerund or an object plus an infinitive, and many other useful guides in the back of the book. So I'm going to put a link to Focus on Grammar in the description below. Please check out this textbook because I think it is very useful for helping you to study grammar. Okay? So, as I mentioned before introducing the textbook to you, there are some verbs that can only use a gerund and some verbs that can only use an infinitive. So let's take a look at two examples of each now really quickly so that you understand what I mean. After want, you can only use an infinitive. You cannot use a gerund. So for example, I want to travel. I want to travel. Perfect sentence. Want plus the infinitive, to travel. But I want traveling does not make any sense at all. So the verb want, you should always use an infinitive. Another verb where you always use the infinitive is need. Need. Okay? So I need to study. Okay? I need studying. I need to study. So want to, need to. These are two examples of verbs that will only use infinitives. La 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 la. I enjoy singing. Okay? I enjoy singing. perfect! I used a gerund after the main verb enjoy. But if I say, I enjoy to sing, after the main verb enjoy, you can only use a gerund. Avoid talking to strangers. I avoid talking to strangers. But if you say, avoid to talk to strangers, that sentence has no meaning. So today, you guys learned a lot of information about gerunds and infinitives. But again, this is only a brief introduction and is not everything there is to know about gerunds and infinitives. So don't worry if you still feel confused or have any questions about this issue. If you have any questions, please, always, you can let me know in the comments below anytime you have English questions, okay? Speaking of questions, now it's time for Question of the Day. Today's question is, please tell me 4 sentences about yourself. But in these 4 sentences, please write 2 sentences using gerunds and 2 sentences using infinitives. So let me know about yourself using gerunds and infinitives. Thank you so much for watching today's video. You did a great job today, guys. Good luck with your English studies. Mina, benkyo, ganbatte ne. Ja